This is Aisha Iftikhar here with another episode of Voice of Visionaries with Aisha. I'm very excited today because I am honored to have the guest here who belongs to UAE. He's a trainer, he's a coach, and globally known author. He's a YouTuber, has written 4 books, and today we have Mr. Nadeem Lutfullah. He has a career span of more than 40 years in industry. He is a person who has a rich knowledge of recruitment, career development, interviewing techniques, and most importantly, he feels fulfilled to help others, to give the purpose and direction to others. He is a beacon of support and motivation, and he calls himself the career CEO. And yes, we have the career CEO with us, and all of those who are willing to boost their career, who are feeling stuck somewhere in their career growth. So, yes, we have invited for you, Mr. Nadeem, to share his wisdom, his experience, his knowledge, and the purpose behind helping others. So, Assalamu alaikum, Nadeem. How are you? Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for your precious time.
Walaikum salam, Aisha. Thank you very much for inviting me. I feel honored, and I appreciate your invitation, and I believe that all of us could benefit from this session that we are going to have. What I mean is, people listening to us as well as ourselves, we can learn something today. So thank you, and I'm available here for you.
Thank you so much. This is also a gesture of you to help and support all of those, the people who are like us and who are trying to make a mark in the career and do something better. So let's talk about your journey. I would love to ask you, how did you get this transformation transition from aviation industry towards being the mentor and author?
Actually, transition happened as normally through different phases. I started my career a long time ago, purely in airport operations from Karachi Airport. And about half my career was related to pure airport operations. But gradually, as I moved into another phase, when I moved into the UAE, with the opportunities that came up, uh, I I realized myself that my inner calling was to do with training basically. So it started with training, and then out of my own interest, I got involved into recruitment, into interviewing. Interviewing is one of my top passions actually. So I got involved into them, into these areas, and I was fortunate that I kept getting the opportunities to grow in these areas. Ultimately, when I retired a few years ago, then I felt that this is the right time for me to pursue what I have always wished to do, which I partly did during my career as well. But after my retirement, I am full time focused. And one of the reasons that I decided to write books was to try and reach the maximum number of people globally to share my experiences. So the transition was gradual over a period of many years.
Whose inner in person, but we do not have the courage to take a big step, to take a huge step in our life. So, moving ahead, after being here in UAE for more than 28 years, how this tenure has shaped up your perspective about career growth and recruitment?
Uh, I believe the inner calling is not in every other person, but in every person particularly. Everyone has, God has given some skills to every one of us. So it's just a matter of realizing what you are good at, what you feel comfortable at, and not everybody is lucky enough actually to be able to follow their inner
Exactly.
calling. Now, going to your question about life in the UAE, it's been a long time. And in 1997, actually, when I moved here, I was still into airport operations. But this is where I must mention that my 13 years period with the Emirates Airline Group gave me the real opportunities to explore these areas of career mentorship, training, as I said, and recruitment. So it goes for. Sorry, did you say something? Your voice is not.
No, I'm just listening to you. I did not say
Yeah.
anything.
Okay. Okay. No problem. So moving here in 1997, the scenes were very different, and of course, as today in 2025, it's totally different. We have the major influence of technology over us, which has changed a lot of things. And as we move forward in our interview, I'm sure we'll talk more about it. But my turning point uh, was uh, was my career with Emirates Airline, where I got opportunities to move. Otherwise, life in the UAE, it's one of the top places where nearly 200 nationalities uh, work here. They live here together. It's a very
Wow.
open and diverse environment, and mostly people who move here, they hardly ever think of going back to anywhere, no matter
Wow.
whether they are coming from any developed countries, as they are called. So it has been good, thanks to God, and that is one of the driving force for me, is that since I have been fortunate enough to have a good career as well as a good personal and professional life, so I feel it necessary to share and to try and improve the situation for others who are seeking to move forward in their professional and personal lives. So this is like a way of paying it forward, if you know about it, rather than
Wow.
returning back a favor to somebody for you, you pay it forward to someone else for the benefit to continue. That's my basic driving force.
All right. So I have seen multiple of your videos in which you are continuing to give the guidance and tips, and you are helpful, and you are not charging for them. I have seen more than 500 videos of you are there in the YouTube. You are eager to share your knowledge. You have written the books. You are available, and always you are actively responding to the person who is asking and seeking anything. So coming towards the books that you have written, from finding the ladder to the death of the resume, what are the key steps for the job seekers that they should learn from your books?
The key messages in all four books that I have written are different because they have different topics. Find the Ladder, when I wrote, I'll just give you a brief about the four books for the benefit of the listeners also. Find the
Please,
Ladder, when I started,
please.
yeah, when I started Find the Ladder, I wanted to write a book for career guidance from A to Z. So Find the Ladder starts with the basic mindset training. It goes through networking, leadership, communication. It takes you through right till the end of performing well at job interviews, because that is the final stage when you start your career. So it has everything from A to Z. The second book I wrote was specifically, I wanted to address the old questions. For the last, I researched and I found that for the last nearly 25 to 30 years, job
Okay.
interviews had become stagnant, and the questions being used for last two and a half, 3 decades were similar, were same. What was happening is, in my contact
Okay.
with my network of recruiters and hiring managers, they also started realizing that because of social media, majority of the candidates, they already knew or they were well prepared for those questions. Questions like, why should we hire you?
Yes, that's true.
What is your weakness, what is your strength, and where do you see yourself in 5 years? These questions people were starting to master. So in my
Yeah.
conversation, communication with recruiters, I found that a lot of them here in the US, although it started from other countries as well, but here in the UAE they started, introducing new questions. So that would
See.
A lot of times that would confuse people, that would show the person if he really is skilled or if he has just rehearsed the questions and answers. So that way
Okay.
I thought of writing this book with questions that are totally different from the ones that were practiced previously. So that was the idea behind the second book. The third book
All right.
is Death of the Resume. This is when I realized that how technology and artificial intelligence is influencing the whole recruitment and hiring industry. So I thought of supporting people because more than half of the book Death of the Resume, more than half of it is giving advice of how to stay ahead of the time, how to face the challenges that AI and technology is presenting to the candidates.
Exactly.
So that was the third book, and the fourth book is not related to careers, but it's related to self-help and personal development, which I released only a few
Okay.
days ago, which is Let Them Underestimate You. Now, this book has tips on how to use your apparent shortfalls or drawbacks, how to use it to your advantage. That's the focus. Now,
Wow.
this I told you about all the
Amazing.
four books, but coming back to your question about one message, underlying message, the most important, in my
Please.
opinion, I would say the most important message of all these books is that whenever you set yourself to a goal, whenever you move towards a goal, the most important planning, the most important aspect is planning. And you have to have a mental plan, or whether you write it down as a project for yourself, but you have to have a plan, a proper plan. Now, there are some important elements within a plan which I can quickly go through about. uh, a
Sure,
plan should
please.
be flexible. You should have flexibility in your plan, because like if you are rigid in your plans, then you might miss opportunities. You might miss opportunities of changing the direction. One example I give during my workshops is, let's say you're going home from work one day and you find a road work or a roadblock on the way. What are you going to do? Are you going to just stop there? If you're in a car, you just stop your car and sleep in the car, or you will find an alternative way to reach your home, because the goal of the day is to reach home for you. So you
Exactly.
will find an alternative way. So similarly, when you set yourself for a goal, keep your plans flexible. The other aspect of planning, very important, is you should be disciplined. Disciplined to follow the plan. अब ऐसा होता है कि lot of time, every day practically, people call me, and when I start discussing with them, they need help in their career. When I start discussing with them, one of my first questions to them is, what have you done so far in your job search? So I'm
Okay.
expecting very few people, I'm expecting them to say that I do this and this and this, in a structured way. But most of
Exactly.
them,
Right.
they either have no answer, or what they reply is just the same answer that normally people give, is that, well, I am applying for 100 positions every day, and so far I have applied for 1,000 jobs. So that is not the right way, because you are not going according to a plan. So planning has to be disciplined. You have to come up with a schedule, a daily schedule for yourself. अब
Right.
इसमें I can give you an example, Aisha, is that you can make a schedule for yourself at the start of the day or at the end of the day for the next day, and restrict yourself that for today, for from 9 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock, I'm only going to do networking. From
Right.
11 to 12, I'll take a break. From 12 to 1, I will only concentrate on how I can improve my resume. And then, different aspects. So if you have a structured plan, then you're more likely to reach your goals progressively. The other important message is, within this book, is, uh, people normally say never give up. It's easier said than done, but resilience is the word. how you get up after failing. And just forget the word failing in your dictionary. You either learn, or you either succeed or you learn. So just don't consider any failures. I have throughout my life, and especially in the last few years, I just ignore everything and look what next I can do. So moving forward is the key to success in my opinion.
Thank you so much for such an insightful discussion, Mr. Nadeem. Um, the thing that you were explaining is the behavior of the employee or the candidate who's looking for the job. But I have observed that there is a certain negative behavior and belief system also. People are facing lack of confidence, maybe, or I think the commitment is lacking as well, that they are not giving that proper time that is required. What would you say about it?
See, commitment again, commitment will come with discipline. If you decide, anybody listening who's in this position or situation, if you decide that, okay, whatever has happened so far, but from tomorrow, I'm going to follow a scheduled plan. If you decide that, then you will feel an improvement in everything. Everything you do, your networking, you have to do networking, you have to these days find positions online, you have to try and engage with people and companies here, so that you are visible to them. So everything comes with discipline and planning. If you have that, the other point that I could add to this is, if you are unsure, as you said, being negative, it is a good idea to find somebody who has been through that path. Find like a mentor or a coach for yourself.
All right. That is the
That
time
is
when we need the
that is
coach and
one way of
mentor.
exactly that is one way of gaining confidence, because one of the basic elements of a coach or a mentor is to give confidence and clarify the direction where the candidate needs to go. Everybody has different directions because every one of us is in different situations. Every one of us has different options. Some people have no options to move from the place they are there. Some people have the option of moving to other places. So all these options, a mentor can guide you through and show you the right direction. So having a right direction will also boost your confidence.
Thank you, Nadeem.
Okay.
Being the coach, I am very much interested in knowing the behavior of the individuals. How you have you ask the person who needs your coaching that how much time you are giving to these things. So I'm interested in knowing the behavior of the person who is there with you for coaching. But are they really putting their right efforts at the right time, or might be they need something but they are not giving their 100% to that?
You see, there are, already that there are all kinds of people. Some people take things seriously, and those are basically the ones who succeed. Now, some very important elements, again, going back to coaching and mentorship, there is a difference between coaching and mentorship, which is not clear to most people. People mix these two words or these two phrases as being the same. A coach is someone who you turn to achieve certain set goals, like I can I can hire or take advice from a coach if I want to gain expertise in certain skills. So it's a short-term goal that you want to achieve when you consult a coach. A mentor, whereas, is for your long-term goal. A mentor, it's not necessary that tomorrow, if you achieve your immediate goal, that you do not need the mentor. A mentor you might need for a longer time to achieve your ultimate targets. So that's the difference. Now, one of my basic experience, as you were asking, is first of all, people generally are lazy. When I start talking to them in this way and ask them, that what is your schedule daily, and I tell them that until you don't have a job, and you're looking for a job, the only job you have is to look for a job. So take it
Wow,
as a
this is very
nine to
important thing.
take it as a 9 to 5 job
Hmm.
for yourself to look for a job. So put in all your efforts. Not that you get up one day and you don't feel like looking at the computer, or you say, I applied 100 jobs yesterday, so today I'm not going to see. No, you have to have a schedule that will keep you motivated also. And if you divide, as I said earlier, if you divide your daily task into different timings and follow those tasks according to a schedule, you will feel motivated yourself. And one very important, also very important point for candidates is be
Yes.
coachable. Be
Yes.
coachable. Uh, a lot of
Wow.
candidates I come across, when I start talking to them, I start, and a mentor or a coach will always start from the basics. I will not directly talk to
Exactly.
them high level
Exactly.
because they might not understand. So when I start talking to them from the basic level, moving upwards, they feel that this is something they already know. So they either lose interest or they do not contact again. It's their own loss. So be coachable is very important, and all the people who have succeeded that I have helped in getting hired, in getting new jobs, there are many, many in the world now. Some of them have moved to other countries from the UAE. All of them, they have this basic ability of being coachable and acknowledge that you know, we should take advice, decide, make the final decision yourself, but at least be open to take advice from somebody who's more
Wow.
experienced. Other things that will move forward.
All right, I'm enjoying this discussion a lot, and I'm sure our audience are also getting so much from it. This is the fruitful and meaningful insights that you're providing about your experiences. Mr. Nadeem, you have helped more than 400 individuals, and you would see different behaviors, as you have already highlighted some of the things that a person truly want to get something, and if you truly want to be somewhere. To those who are graduate or who are at their early career, at this stage, since the market is competitive, so how can the person be into the market, be active? How can a person upgrade themselves? Please give some guide about it. Thank you.
Yeah. First, I would say start before you're ready. A lot of youngsters, I find, they keep thinking and planning, and they are in the deciding mode for a very long time. You see, action cannot be replaced by anything. So you just take a while to set your direction, what your goals are, what your ultimate target is. And as I explained, your goals can progressively, they have to keep changing. Again, to give make it more clear to our listeners, if I'm in a position, I already have a job, and my goal is that I should go up to the supervisory level. So that will be my goal. Once I achieve that goal and I reach the supervisory level, my goals will not finish. My next goal will be to reach to the next level and keep moving forward. But my ultimate target as a career professional is to keep progressing and moving forward. So target and goals are different. Now, advice to the young people, as I said, do not waste time in thinking too much. Then the most important thing is, you know, they know better than us people, our generation, that everything is digital now. So the message in my book, Death of the Resume, the title already says that the resume is dying. It's not dead as yet, but it's dying. Paper is being replaced by digital portfolios. Digital portfolio means you create your presence, and if those young people who have not already moved to it should already start yesterday, should have started yesterday. Create your digital presence. Now, digital presence has a lot of aspects to it, which means your engagement, how your profile is, how your portfolio is, how professional. Now, in this book of mine, I talk a lot about what are the main elements of your digital presence and portfolios. I'll just give you some examples. Online, you start creating your video resume. Create a profile, a portfolio of yours, or your profiles or different professional networks. Create a digital introduction which will be similar to a digital resume. Even a cover letter. The purpose of a cover letter is to give a snapshot very briefly to potential recruiters. A cover letter
Okay.
gives a very snapshot in 2 or 3 paragraphs. It has to tell everything about you: what you are, what you possess, what skills you have, what you are able to offer to a business or to a company. These are the elements of a cover letter. So you can do that digitally by recording yourself and showing your communication skills. So these are things very important. Then I would say for young people, yes, something very important. While you are not employed as yet, or even during your student life, look out for volunteer work, because that is
Okay.
going to ultimately count on your resume, on your profile. Right? Whatever you feel like doing volunteering for, go for it without any hesitation that this might not be. Because if I am an IT person and I go volunteering for a customer relations position, it doesn't matter, because ultimately all fields, they merge towards the growth of a business. So all elements of your experience will count one day. So go for volunteering. The other is, look for internships, unpaid internships. You don't have to worry if it's a paid internship or not. Look for unpaid internships, because in internships also initially they count a lot. और फिर इंटर्नशिप का एक फ़ायदा, बड़ा एडवांटेज ये होता है कि वट एवर आई हैव सीन मैक्सिमम is that the companies where you go as an intern, maximum number of times I've seen that the company, once they see that you are a fast learner, you are dedicated to your job, your profession, and once in future they have an opening for a permanent position, they will approach you themselves.
That's 100% true. It
A
happens.
lot of
Yes.
interns that I have advised, there was a young female, a chemical engineer. I advised her. I helped her also to get an internship in a company here. And at the end of 6 months of her internship, the company, before letting her go, they offered her a full-time job. So internship, focus on internship.
Great.
Then another point you can consider is participate in volunteer projects. There are many startup companies online. Go look for them on Facebook, on LinkedIn. A lot of startup companies which need expertise in particular fields to help them. So you offer your expertise. If you have the skills in that field, you offer it to them free of cost. You will gain by experience, they will gain by your skills. So it's a win-win for both, but it will benefit you when you're ready to apply for a full-time job. So these are points that young people should keep in mind. And also, one important point I have in mind is to diversify your job search. What I mean is that just don't decide one day that I'm going to go into this field. As you move forward, as you gain more skills, look at other related fields that you could venture into. Diversify and keep your mind open for different opportunities. Don't just focus. मैं कई लोगों से पूछता हूँ कि आप ये अप्लाई कर रहे, they are only looking for jobs online with one particular handling, customer service या marketing. you know why not expand that? Marketing includes sales, brand management, brand awareness, all these words, these positions. When you search for jobs online with diversified keywords, you will find all the more opportunities. And the more opportunities you find, the more you can go for them. and the more opportunities you apply to, the more chances are that you will get something. Another point, I'm sorry, maybe this
Please
this
go ahead.
answer is
Please go
going
ahead.
very long, but this is my key focus of advising people. Another point is in your digital presence online, in your portfolio, whether you're talking about yourself, whether you're introducing yourself, offer solutions to people, because people don't care about anything else more than their problems, right? Everybody
Wow,
is
this
focused
is
on
very
what
and very
everybody is focused.
genius idea. Very
Yeah,
intelligent.
thank you. Everybody is focused on how I can solve this problem, whether it's a business problem, it can be business related, financial problem, marketing problems. So if you step in as a problem solver, then you've already secured a place for yourself. I'll give you a quick example. USA, there was a young guy who posted and he wrote about it on LinkedIn. He wasn't finding a job. I mean, he wasn't finding any suitable job, but his expertise was in building websites and this IT stuff. What he started doing, apni city mein, within his own city, he started visiting the websites of different companies, and he started finding the gray areas where those websites for those companies could improve. They could improve by presentation, they could improve by offering more to clients visiting the website. And what he did, अपनी तरफ से he developed solutions in a way like a landing page or something, a single page. And then when he was ready, he approached those companies himself, and he offered that I have been I have gone through your website and I feel these are the areas you can improve. I am attaching, or I can present to you the solutions for it. So he offered the solutions proactively. He had no problem, and he says within weeks he had multiple offers from companies that, yes, what did he do? Basically what I said earlier, offered solutions. So immediately everybody is looking for an end to their problems or issues. So this was a bundle of small advices. I hope it's useful for some people.
Nadeem, I believe this episode is not less than a course of all of your experience that you're giving. And for myself, I'm thinking to listen this podcast again and again, and to make the note to work on
Thank you
these
very much.
tips and advices that you're giving. This idea is very smart to give the solutions to people, and you will grab the attention, and everybody needs the solution. So, since we
Exactly.
have very less time for this podcast, but I would love if you give time to me in another day, or we can plan for a series of these podcasts in which you can give more of this knowledge and wisdom and experiences. But for now, since we have shortage of time, so we will have to conclude towards some of the things. As industry is changing due to artificial intelligence, the recruitment is changing, the job seekers sense of using this technology is being changed. So what would you say about this change?
Change is, again, it's driven by technology and driven by the drive of the technology. So again, it will be similar message that keep up, learn new skills, because there are future skills that people talk about, that are known very very obviously these days. I was reading about an article, the most in demand skills between 2025 and 2030. So focus on learning new skills, never stop learning, continue learning. स्किल्स जो अभी फ्यूचर के हैं, उसमें सबसे ज़्यादा इज adaptability, adaptability and creative mindset. These are the top two soft skills that are currently, in demand. In future, they will be most in demand. The
Okay.
other one is, we used to have a skill, self-awareness, but now that has changed into self-management. So
Okay.
this is a very high ranking future skill, self management. Because self awareness is okay, I am aware of myself, my drawbacks, and what qualities I have. But self management means keep everything yourself to yourself, but we are interested in to know how you manage yourself. Then
Yeah.
another very important is resilience and flexibility. Resilience means that you are able to adapt quickly, because we all know things used to change very gradually before. Now these days, every new day brings something new. So young people who want to grow professionally, they need to be flexible and adaptable quickly. Change management जिसको कहते हैं, you should master the skill of change management. Adaptability or resilience is the same, similar. And from my personal side, I think the top skill right now and in future as well, the king of skills, which I call, is communication. Because if you are able to master communication, you can master everything. I'll give you a very quick example. Every
Please.
one of us has seen people in our professional lives who, in spite of not having uh, a very high level of skills, competencies, and even dedication, but they grow very fast in their careers. I have noticed quite a few people in my career. They grow very fast. And what I noticed at the end was that they had brilliant communication skills. So if you're able to master communication skills, you will always be on top and grow very fast. And in the same context, communication skills, the top level of communication skills is public speaking. If you're able to master public speaking, then you attain a very high level of competence. So these are the things that we could talk about, and there is a lot more that we can talk about, as you said, especially in relation to what the future holds for the young generation.
Thank you so much, Nadeem. Since your services are people, let's shift towards this thing that when it comes to the profession, people are more towards chasing the position. So how can the professional build legacy driven career?
Your voice is cutting. I didn't get the full question, Aisha. Your voice and your
Okay. Am I audible better now?
yes, now it's there. Yeah.
All right. So I wanted to ask you that how can a professional build a legacy driven career rather than chasing for the positions only?
Well, you have to again. You have to have your focus in the right direction, and to attain a legacy is a long term target or a goal. But I would say do not focus on uh, legacy or career. Do not focus on these words. Focus on what I can provide to businesses and to people. इसमें दो चीजें आ जाती है. What you are able to provide to businesses or to companies is your skills, and that if you continuously keep learning, never stop the learning, and you continuously keep
Okay.
enhancing your skills, that will automatically enhance your position professionally. On a personal level, apart from your profession, uh, try to help people move to a better position in whichever way you can. The best way is to share your knowledge and experiences, because in learning, in teaching, you also learn. And as I said earlier, uh, provide solutions to people. Another thing I would say is encourage people. If you want to build long term relationships, Encourage people to ask more questions, to be more curious. You
Okay.
should also be curious yourself always. All the time, you should be curious to know the why and what of everything. So that increases
Okay.
again, it goes back to continuous learning. And learning from cradle to grave is a must for everyone. I can quickly speak only about myself. I retired 5 years ago. After that, I could just sit home and enjoy the rest of my life. I can do that. I could have done that, but I decided to continue learning. Now, never in my life had I thought earlier that I will end up writing books, because that's what I was too big for it. When I
Yes.
started it, when I started from scratch because I don't have anybody in my network who's been an author who could guide me. So I started from scratch, self-learning. So self-learning is a tool that helps you to grow in whichever direction you want. So I taught myself, and even till today, my YouTube channel I started only 3 years ago. So that was long after my professional career
Amazing.
ended. So my YouTube channel I started. So you are a YouTuber yourself, high class YouTuber
Yes.
yourself. How much it
Thank you.
uh,
That's so
uh,
nice.
how much skills it takes to first the stage is scripting, then recording, then editing, right? So these are three main stages of a YouTube channel. So I had to learn, I decided to learn all this by myself. And talking about authoring, I decided to self publish my book, learn the hard way how to self publish, because a lot of authors that I met later here, all of them go through publishing companies, but I decided to do it myself for various reasons that we can talk about later. So self-publishing is another journey where you face challenges from start to continuous challenges you face. But today, Alhamdulillah, I'm in a position that I've offered, and I've spoken to a few people who are interested, that I could conduct workshops on self-publishing. I could conduct a full workshop from A to Z and take people through the journey, my journey of learning how
Wow.
self-publishing, can be successful. So, my message again, keep learning, never stop learning, and that's the only way to grow. And one of the best methods that I have used throughout my career, which is not mentioned by many people, but I have used it personally throughout my career, throughout my life. One of the best methods to learn is through observation. You
Wow.
don't have to always read or go through trainings and get certificates and all. Learn through observation. That is one of the strongest way that you can improve your skills.
Thank you so much for this course. I believe this was a complete course, and the essence of your life that you have learned, and you are very open to give it to the people now. Now it is the responsibility of the listeners that how they can make the most of these tips and tricks and these principles and rules, that if we adopt these things we can bring some transformation, we can bring a change. And I'm very inspired by your journey, the way you shared that before 3 years you started your YouTube and there was no guide with you to publish the book, but you are a successful author and mashallah globally known author. And this journey did not stop. You wrote one book then another, and every topic and every book has a different essence and meaning to it, and some lessons for the learners
Mm.
if they really want to.
Yeah.
So we will have to wind up this podcast. I really do not feel like, but yes, it's the need of the time period. Mr. Nadeem, one-liner message to this whole globe from your side. Anything you want to communicate.
Uh, you mean to people who are aspiring in their jobs?
Exactly.
One liner would be yes, some advice that I didn't touch upon because we needed to move on fast.
No problem. Anything,
In
anything you
every
want to communicate.
Yeah, at every stage of your career, right from applying to jobs, networking, engaging with people, communicating with people, going through the interview, during the interview, preparing for the interview. One very important tip that I would like to give is always realize how the other person is seeing you, what the other person is expecting from you. Look at things
Okay.
from the other person's perspective. Very
All
quickly,
right.
when you are when you have completed a resume and you want to submit for a job, take a moment, read the job description, and consider yourself that I am the hiring manager or I am the recruiter. Then read your resume. Then ask yourself, is this resume good enough that I as a recruiter will hire this person or not? This will give you a true picture of whether your resume is good enough, whether you're a good fit for that position or not. So step back and put yourself in the shoes of the other person. Similarly, in interviews, 80% to 85% of candidates, after they finish with the interview, they are satisfied that they were able to answer very well, and they are satisfied that they should get a positive results. But it doesn't happen. Around 95% of interviews do not succeed, right? But 80 to 85% of candidates, they feel that they did very good in the interview. Why? Because they thought that I was able to answer every question, and I did not fumble. My communication was good. So this is their perspective.
Yes.
What they miss out is when asking the questions, the interviewer had some things in his mind. My book 55 Unconventional Questions
Yes.
talks a lot about this. Reading the of the interviewer. So if you put yourself in the place of an interviewer and think how he is asking the questions and what he wants to hear from me, the results will be much different rather than only considering that how I answered. So overall, my final tip is start thinking from the other person's perspective. And I gave you an example of right when you start applying for a job, look at your resume as a recruiter. And when you're doing an interview, be open to thinking about how the interview or what the interviewer is expecting me to say. If you keep that in mind, you have a higher chances of success, inshallah.